Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. To our returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back and continue to learn with us. You are very important to this community and we truly appreciate your support. We love having you here. And if you are new to this channel, you are most welcome. This is the place where we learn technology, programming, and even practical digital skills in simple and understandable way. So before we begin, kindly take a moment to subscribe to this channel and turn on notification bell so that you don't miss on any of our upcoming lesson. So now in today's video, we are going to learn about motion blocks in Scratch, and I will show you how they help us control the movement of sprite to create animation and interactive project. So let's get started. So in Scratch, motion blocks control how character moves on the stage. But what is the difference between move, turn, and glide? So in this lesson, I will explain the three important motion blocks which I've mentioned, and I show how you are going to use them in simple examples. So we are going to see how we're able to use move, turn, and glide. Move, turn, and glide. So those are the three blocks that we'll discuss under motion blocks. So move, turn, and glide. But now in this case, what is the motion blocks? The motion blocks is the first type of block here, the one you are seeing, the one in blue. So when I click, let's say I click here, it comes with the blocks of that color. But now in this case, we are talking about the blocks in this particular color. So you see, I have motion blocks that is in blue, and we have move, turn, and glide. So that's what we'll be discussing in this. So first you open your preferred platform, either online or offline version. Either you are using an offline version or any other version that you feel comfortable with. So any of those can work, and you're able to follow to this tutorial to the very end. So today we'll focus on the motion blocks, which are the blue blocks, and I've explained to you. And let's begin with the first one, that is on the move block. This move block, the move block in this case, it makes the sprite that you have on the stage to move to some number of steps. So for example, let's say I click on move 10 steps. So what you are seeing 10 means the number of steps that this particular cat or this particular sprite that I have on stage will move. So if I say change this one to 100, it means that this particular cat will move 100 steps. So for this case, let me begin. Let me begin by saying that the move block in this case, move the sprite forward in the direction it is facing. So for example, in this particular lesson, I'm not talking about anything about direction. What I will be focusing on is about just movement, the motion, just about either move, turn, or glide. So now in this case, so our focus is that this particular sprite will move in the direction it is facing. So the smaller the number of steps, the smaller the jumps that you will be able to see. Let me call it jumps, because when you will get to glide, I will not call it jumps, but I will call it a slide as a movement. I call it that way. So the move block, I've said, is that it make the sprite move the direction it is facing. So let's look at this. Let's try different number of steps. So let's, in this case, I will begin with events here and use one of my favorite blocks here that allows me to always have the program begins. So it tells me to have my program always work. So now in this case, let me change to 10 and see how it moves. Now, you may not notice the difference much, but look at this. I've said when a green flag is clicked, move 10 steps. So there's something I want you to notice. there's something I want to notice before we continue. Look at my x. My x is 0, my y is 0. You'll be able to notice that as we continue, this x and y will change. So now, in this case, move 10 steps. So when green flag is clicked, so let me click the green flag and see. Look at my x is 0. X. So now my x is 10, meaning that this particular sprite of mine has moved 10 good steps. Now, you may not have noticed it moving to the right side, that is 10 steps. Let me make it a bit bigger. Let me say 50 steps. Now, let me click the green flag. At least at this point, you're able to notice the jump at least a bit bigger. Now it was 10, now it is 60. It has moved 10, no, it has moved 50 steps. That means that it has jumped 50 steps. Now, the next thing is, let me change this one instead of 50, make it 100. And look at how it will move. And now at this point, at least you'll be able to notice how it will be able to jump to a different place. So we expect this x to be at 160. Let's give it a try. Let's click the green flag. Now it has moved from this particular point to this point. So now you see that it is from 60 all the way to 160. So what I'm trying to say is that the larger the number of steps, the bigger the sprite, or the bigger the jump, or let's say the sprite move further. Let me say so. So if you have 10 steps, it moves 10 steps. If you have 50 steps, it moves 50 steps. If you have 100 steps, it moves 100 steps. So let's move on and say we want to change to another different type of block. So we have seen how how move block can help us to change. Now, what about if you want to change to go to the negative direction? For example, at this point, it is facing the direction it's going. I want to go back. I want to go back here, like now to where it was coming from. So what I mean is that I will use the negative. For example, I'll say negative 10. Now look at this one. Instead of 160, it will be 150 because it will move back 10 steps. Let me click on the green flag. Now you're able to see it's moving 10 steps. Now you may not have noticed the big difference. Let us make it bigger. Let's say the negative is even 120. Yes, you're able to see the big jump that this particular sprite of ours will move. Is it a 120? 120 is a bit smaller. Let me make it even a bit negative 180. So it will jump by 180 steps. Look at here. So what number do we expect here? Give a guess. Give a guess. What number? Here it's 150. Now moving back negative 180 steps. So we expect to be negative 30. Now you're right. Yes. So click here. I click on the green flag. Wow, it has moved all the way from positive 50 all the way 150 to negative 30. Now you're able to see it has jumped all the way here. So this is how we move also to the left side. How do we move up and down? That's one as a different one. We'll look at using the change here. Okay, let me explain. Just not to have you. This one, the change Y. This one is a not move. It's a move, not move block, but I'm just using to explain how it's moving from up and down. So let's have a look at this one. It is change Y by 10. This means that by positive 10, meaning that it will jump, it will move 10 steps. Look at it. If I say, let me make it even 30 for now. And I click sorry for this. So I click on the green flag. You see what has happened? Up from 0 to 30. If I make it, let me make it even by 50. So the green flag is what has happened. It's moving up. What about going down? What about going down? I guess you know, negative. So let's have negative 100. Going down, negative 100. So we expect here to be negative 20. So let's click on the green flag. It has moved. Yes, it has moved down 100 steps. Now, let's focus now on the next thing, that is on the turn block. So we are done with the move block, or the block of moving from one place to the other, to the left to the right, to the up to the bottom Yeah, we are done with that. Let's move on to the turn block. Now, on the turn block, this is what we have. What does it say? It says turn 15 degrees, turn 15 degrees. So there is clockwise and anti-clockwise. There is one moving to the right side. There is one moving to the left side. So of course, the idea that you know so far is that if we are going to the left, it has to be negative. If you are going to the positives to the right, it has to be positive. Now you know that. Now, let me take you that. So the turn block in this case rotate the sprite in the direction you specify, either positive or negative. If we say negative, we are going to the left. If you say positive, we are turning to the positive, to the right side. So, for example, let me begin with this one. Let me remove this one a bit. Now, when a green flag is clicked, turn, let's say 15 degrees. Now, as at this point, look at the direction here. At this point, the direction is at, is it 90? Yes. We're able to see the direction, how it changes. It's at 90 as at now. So, it's here. Now, what about if I click on green flag? Look at what happened. It changed to 105 by 15. Now, if I click again here, you're able to see this is how it is facing. If I turn and I say I want to turn again, let me click on the green flag again. It has turned by 30. That is 120. So this is the direction it's facing. Look at the cut. It's facing this direction. Let me change here by 30, for example. Green flag is click. Look at what has happened. It is facing here. Let's check. This is where it is facing. The cut here and the direction. Let's turn again. Green flag. Now it is making 180 turn. It has make another 90. From 90 now, another 90. Now it's 180. Look at it. It's facing down. Now able to see the direction it has been able to turn. What about if we make it negative? Let's say we have this one to negative 30. So we expect to be at around 150 there. So click on this one. See what has happened? It is facing this direction. It is not going the other side. It's going to the negative side. Remember, I say that if you go the negative, it goes to the left side, turn towards the left side. If I say positive, it turns towards the right side. I believe at this point you know how to turn. You know how to turn this particular sprite to the direction that you want. All right, let me make it something small. Let me make it this one. Let me just turn until it goes to the right place I want. So, no. So, let me make it positive. 30. Then I turn once. Yes, that way. I want it to be at 90 this way. Now, I want to combine the move block and the turn block. Because I want to, in this particular example that I want to show you is that I want to make the program, the sprite to move in to make a square box by just how it is working or how it is moving. So let's give that. So now I have this particular cut of mine. Allow me to move it, to drag it here. Allow me to drag it here. And let me say, let me use something here. I want to make it move 100 steps. So here I'll say move 100 steps. Just let me change this one, move 100 steps. Okay. And then turn clockwise to the right side. Turn clockwise. Let me use this one. Turn this one, but 90. Turn 90. So 90 is facing this one. If I turn another 90, it will face down. Yes. Let's see. And then what I will do is that, let's wait. No, before you continue, let's make it repeat a number of times. Let's make it repeat a number of times. So I go under control, I click on repeat. In this case, repeat. And in this repeat, I will say 4. I will say 4 so that it make a circle. Let's say 4, like that. Now, let me check all of these blocks inside here. So this particular sprite will move 100 steps to the right, then turn 90, that's facing down, then move 100 steps down, and then turn another 90, move, then that is how I want us. So now let me reduce the size of this sprite to be a bit smaller so that it does not occupy the entire screen. So let me make it 50 instead of 100. Now it is a bit smaller. Okay, let me click on the green flag. You didn't see that. It just flashed. Let me say this one. Let me use uh, weight. That is on motion before it move to the right. Okay, no. Let me not introduce that one for now. Let me just when I look at this, what happened? It has moved. You may not have seen. It has moved to the right, to the left, no, to the bottom, to the left, to the top. That was what has happened to this particular sprite. This is what has happened to this particular sprite. Yes, so let's have it to control. I believe some of us will say that they want to see it moving. Of course, seeing is believing. So let's go under control and use weight, the weight here. So let me have the weight here so that we have to wait for, let's say, 2 seconds. Then also wait here in between this one. As it moves 100 steps, wait for 2 seconds, then turn 90, turn 90, that is turn 90, then wait for 2 seconds, repeat the same, move 100 steps, wait for 2 seconds, turn 90. Look at how it works. Let me click on the green flag. Click on green flag. It has moved. Wait for 2 seconds, turn, move to the bottom, turn, move to the right side, turn, move up, and then it turn. You see? Yes. So that is how we have used this particular sprite to make a square. Let me click again. You see, here, turn, move bottom, turn, move the left, turn, move top, turn. Yes, that is it. So you have seen what has happened. It moved to the different corner. So it is making steps. This is combination of move and turn. Now, let's move on to the next thing. And in this next thing that we are doing is the glide. Remember, I told you about the glide, that this glide that we are talking is that it's different, a bit different from move block. Let's see how glide look like. So let me remove all this what I have and take it back here. So I go back to motion and I use glide. So let me click on glide. There is the glide to random position. You have not specified. You can click on glide. You see, it can move to any random position. Within, then there is one. You might be asking yourself, what is one? This one is the amount of time, 1 second. Let me say move in 3 seconds. Look at how this particular sprite move. It takes the longer time. That means that it's a bit slowly, moving slowly. Look at it. You see? Slowly. If I increase the time, let me even increase the time and say I want to have it at 10 seconds. Look at how it look like. It takes the longest time compared to the rest to move. And now, anyway, so that is for random position. We might want to have it go to a different position, not random, but at a specified position. We want to give the position where we want it to be. So it has been going to a random position, but now we want it to go to a specified position, which we will tell it to move. So in this case, let's see. So I will not just use the glide to random position. I will take it this one back to where it was coming from, and I use this one called glide. Then it is It's showing negative 174 and negative 111. What could that be? It is the current position of that particular sprite. That is the current position of that particular sprite. But now we don't need that one. We need to have our own position that we will tell in this. Okay, so now let's have, what number of seconds do we need? Let's have it moving 1 second for now. And we want it to move to, let's say, at the top here. So let's have it move to positive, no, negative 170. Yeah, let's have negative 1. So that's on the, that means that is on the left. I'm sorry. That is on the left here. So negative 170. That is at the x-axis. At the x-axis, moving to the right and the left, we want it to be at negative 179. Now, what about y? Either top or bottom. At y, we have it to be at, let's say, positive 130. Positive 130. This one is negative 170, sorry. That way. Now, let's look at how it moves. So negative 170, positive 130. So it will be somewhere up here. It will be somewhere up here. Let's click. Yes, it moved there. It glide to that particular place. Let's say if I have it move in 2 seconds. Move in 2 seconds. Let's assume my sprite is here. Let me click on the code. It's moving in 2 seconds to that particular position. Now, how can we make this one move to move in a square again? At least make 4 rounds in that particular screen. How do we make it? So let's use the events and say that when green flag is clicked, in this case, what do we want to do? We want to glide to 170. That is where it is now. Also, let me duplicate this so that I have to duplicate this block. So I have 2 blocks. So this one, it begins with here, moving to negative 1. That's where it is now. You want to make it go down here. So to make it go down, the x-axis is still the same, but the y-axis, of course, it is going down. It will be negative. So instead of positive 130, we say negative 130. That is the y-axis. All right, let me duplicate this one so that I can use in the next block. Okay, now, so I join this one here. So what we have achieved is that this particular sprite moving from where it is, bottom. Yes, so let's make it go to the right, So of course, to the right, our x will be positive. So let's just change here to be positive 170, the same negative y, just at the bottom. So let me also duplicate this one, and then, sorry, then I move this one. So also, this means that we have moved from top to bottom. Now we go to the right, now we go to top. How do we make it go to the top? So our x will still be positive and our y will be positive because going up is positive. Now, once we have this one, we also connect it this way. Now, I have all the blocks. Look at how it happens. Let's click using this green flag. I click. What happens? It moves down there. It goes to the right. It goes to the top. And stop there. So what should I do? I shall make it go back. Let me duplicate this one. Let me duplicate this block here. So duplicate so that I have 2, which I can join it at the bottom. No worry how it is moving. I will show you what I mean. Let me connect it here. So let me make my cursor, my sprite remain at the center. Now, when a green flag is clicked, it goes where? It goes there, goes down, goes to the right, goes to the top, and go back to where it was. Now it's making one good square. But we might want to have this one move to a number of times. How do we make it move to these places several number of times? So this is what we do. We use the green flag, not the green flag. We use control and then we use repeat. Remember we used repeat before? In this repeat, I will say I want to repeat how many times? I want to repeat 3 times for now. And then I put all this code inside here. Then look at what happened. Let me drag my sprite at the middle. Then I click on the green flag. Green flag, it makes it go there, go to the bottom, goes to the right, goes to the top, go back again to the left, go down, yes, down, go to the right, go to the top, go to the left. That is 2 times. The third time, it goes down, it go to the right, it go to the top, and it goes to the left. Now it's done. So that is how our sprite is able to move to different location using turn. Then no, using glide. So at this point in this particular lesson, we have seen how we are able to make this particular sprite move to different direction using different types of block. Move block, turn block, and glide block. Now, let me give you a challenge. Let me give you a challenge that you can try at your own time. Give a try. Once you achieve that, I want you to have a picture of that code of yours, the block of code like this one, and put in the comment section. If you try and achieve the triangle, please make it appear, show me the code on the, what do you call it? On the chat there, that is on the comment section. Please screenshot your code and put on the comment section. If you achieve, that is assignment or a task that I'm giving us to go and try. To this point, thank you so much for your time and the time you have invested and even following up to this tutorial to this particular point. You're so amazing and I look forward for having you in the next video. Don't miss out. We will talk about events in the next video. See you. Bye-bye. Love you all.